Kia ora koutou. Ko Angela Caves toko ingoa no mai haere mai. Welcome to the Tai Tokerau Northland Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name is Angela Caves and I'm the Partnership and Events Lead with Digital Boost. It's my pleasure to be hosting you this afternoon. This is day 3 of our conference. We've had 2 wonderful afternoons of sessions showcasing the breadth of support that is available to the business community in Northland. Welcome to our audience who have joined us here in the webinar, and a warm welcome to anybody who might be viewing via a live stream on either Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube. On the webinar this afternoon with me is my co-host from our collaborating organisation, Rich Volkman, who is an Employment Liaison Advisor with connected.govt.nz. Rich is going to take you through some webinar housekeeping and then introduce our guest presenters this afternoon. Thanks so much, Rich.
Good, Angela, thank you for that, and no mai haere mai to all our viewers to this session on day 3 of the Connected Digital Boost Conference. For those of you who are joining us in this webinar, you can hear and see us, but we can't actually hear or see you. So please, if you do have any questions or comments, you can type these down into the Q&A function available, and we'll address these towards the end of the presentation. Our sessions are being recorded and will be uploaded to a YouTube playlist on the Digital Boost channel for post-event viewing. All registered attendees will be provided a link to this via email as well. But it is my pleasure for this session to introduce you to our presenters this afternoon. I do have Tracy Wildhaber and Angela Ward from the Ministry of Social Development and their guest speaker, Tanae Smith, joining them. Kia ora, everybody, welcome.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
I'm going to hand over to you and I'll pop out, and then towards the end of the session, I'll be back for a bit of Q&A.
Beautiful. All right, let's get going. Right, how's that looking? Is that everyone seeing my presentation?
Not
yet. There we go.
How's it coming up now? Yeah, that's okay. Great.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I might just. Okay. All right, so kia ora, welcome everyone. My name is Angela Ward. I am representing on behalf of our Northland Work Services team. I will also be presenting alongside my colleague Tracy Wildhaber, and our team is led by our Regional Labour Market Manager, Jamie Rosemurgy. So with the majority of our team spread across the motu, we can be found at 7 of our work service centres across Northland. So we've got Dargaville, Whangarei, Kamo, Kawakawa, Kerikeri, Kaikoui and Kaitaia. So across those sites, you'll find our labour market team, our work brokers, our work service, employment express team, sorry, our employment coordinators, and our regional self-employment work broker, which is our Tracy Wildhaber, who we've got attending today. So firstly, to kick off this webinar, I'll be covering our recruitment and our employment services. So who better to talk to about those, about that support, but our local Northland business owners who've both utilised our recruitment services, but also our investment support.
Kia ora, my name is Teresa and I'm the owner of Monster Creative. I'd like to talk today about my experience with MSD, specifically dealing with Angela Ward. So earlier this year in January, I needed to recruit for a sales manager, and that was part of a long-term goal of mine. It was the last piece in the puzzle for a 5-year goal. And I was really nervous, to tell you the truth, about recruiting for this role for a number of reasons. And then everyone saying how hard it was to try and find good staff. So I was not feeling very confident about finding the right person. I reached out to Ange, and she said, hey, look, you just never know. We're getting CVs from all sorts of people at the moment. And I think it was a process of like 3 or 4 weeks. I had a new sales manager hired, and it's been an absolute game changer. It's allowed me to step back from working in my business 40 hours a week to be able to work on my business. And then the Flexi-Wage support was also really good. My new sales manager had no experience in my industry, so I needed to do some pretty intensive training for 3 months, plus purchase all the additional equipment that she required. So thank you so much, Ange, for the support that you gave me and the outcomes. You'll never know how much it's meant to me to hire this successful candidate to help me grow my business. Thanks.
So we've been working with MSD now for, I'd say, over a year and a half. So when we first actually built the Lone Star, I reached out and been happy working with them since the start. So built a fantastic relationship with the team there. And I think today we have 5, hopefully 6 soon, staff that are working with us currently. This has been an awesome relationship. We focus on development. We've been able to work with MSD in conjunction with our staff to make sure that we develop and show a pathway, and it's been very, very successful. So from my perspective as a business owner, it's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside Angie and the team there, and Richard, who used to work with us as well. And we've had some great success in terms of getting some great staff and being able to get some financial support as well. So all round, it's a relationship that we continue to develop, and we're in the process of continuing to look to MSD, and I actually look to them as my main source of hiring now as a business owner. So yeah, very happy, and I'd recommend it. I recommend that he would go and take the time to work with MSD and actually spend some time with Angie and the team and actually go, hey look, this is a good investment, and I guess that's what we try and do as business owners. We invest in our people.
So many of our Northland businesses are actually unaware that we offer free recruitment services. So our team, we work quite closely with our Northland businesses, understanding their employment needs. We connect them with job seekers who we think they will be a good fit, assist them with upskilling, training, and retaining staff. We have a wide range of candidates with skills and attributes to suit all kinds of industry sectors. So part of our recruitment support that we offer is we are firstly able to tailor a recruitment plan to suit your needs. We can list and advertise your vacancy free on our Work and Income website. Plus, we also promote it across all of our sites and to our external networks as well. We're the only region in New Zealand who have a dedicated team who pre-screen candidates to meet your employment requirements. They will then refer any shortlisted candidates with a copy of the candidate's CV and an employment brief and liaise with you during that recruitment process. We also can support with bulk recruitment. We also host expos and recruitment drives at our sites and off-site as well. We also have facilities at all of our Work and Income sites where employers can actually utilise our meeting rooms to conduct interviews or hold bulk recruitment drives as well. We can also support with any pre-employment drug testing for shortlisted candidates or support with obtaining licenses also. If a client needs help with employment-related costs, for example, work gear, equipment or transport, they may qualify for other assistance like our Transition to Work grant. So they're just some of the ways that we can support with your recruitment. So if you're needing to get in touch with any of our work broker team, you can call our employer line, which is the 0800 778 008. Asked to be connected with a Northland work broker, but I sometimes find that the best option is just even popping into one of our your local Work and Income site and ask to talk to a work broker that is on site. So that's an overview of our recruitment support. So now I'm just going to go cover off our investment support products that we have available. So we've got our Flexi-Wage, our Mana and Mahi, and Apprenticeship Boost. So before I go into those investment support products, it's really important to understand that those investment support products that we have need to be negotiated and have discussions directly with a work broker. And we like that process to happen during that recruitment process, and ideally no later than a week after that employee's start date. So the first one that I'm going to cover off is our Flexi-Wage. So Flexi-Wage is pretty much our most utilised investment support product that we have available. It's for employers wanting to invest in job seekers who are disadvantaged in the job market. We make a temporary contribution to their wages, and that goes direct to you as the employer. Our team will just discuss with you which payment band we can offer and how it's paid. It's important to understand that the length of support is based on the candidate's individual circumstances, their work readiness, employment history, barriers or disadvantages, etc. So for example, the payment bands are $276 per week, GST inclusive, and can be anywhere from 24 to 36 weeks. The job must be at least paying the adult minimum wage and be minimum of 30 hours per week to meet the work obligations. Must meet also have a training pathway that you're going to be looking at upskilling that employee, which can be either on the job training or can be also external courses or programs. The expectation with Flexi-Wage is that the job seeker remains employed after the investment period has expired, and it's aimed at all ages that are at risk of long-term benefit receipt. Please note that the client does not need to be in receipt of benefit to be eligible for Flexi-Wage. As part of Flexi-Wage, we also have extra assistance. So that assistance is for employment-related training and in-work support services. So the extra costs that can be associated when onboarding new staff might mean that you're looking at needing to upskill them with first aid or working at heights. We've got a band there of about $1,000 that can contribute to short-term training. We also have in-work support cover. So if you're finding that candidates needing some extra support, we've got some funding there as well. But that's a case by case, and same thing again needs to be discussed with the work broker as part of that process. So the next product that we've got that we utilise is our Mana and Mahi. So Mana and Mahi is it's eligible for people who need extra additional support to get into jobs and gain real world skills and experience. It's supporting long-term sustainable employment while gaining an apprenticeship or a formal qualification. So here we've got one of our employers that we work with quite closely here in Northland, Measure Up, where they've taken on a couple of our MSD clients, putting them through a level 4 New Zealand certification in flooring. So part of the Mana and Mahi, it's obviously offering a wage subsidy for the employers for 1 year. It's to offset the costs of employing and supporting an untrained worker, as long as the participant is in an industry recognised training pathway. So to be eligible for Mana and Mahi, the candidate must be at risk of long-term benefit receipt. They want a long-term sustainable career that requires an industry training qualification and needs support to meet and maintain the study commitments. So the other support available with Mana and Mahi is we work quite closely with an organisation called Te Hiki Mai, where they offer a free in-work support, and it could be a 3-way coaching program between the employer, the employee and MSD, just to ensure that candidate is progressing forward, and we are supporting them through that transition into full-time employment, just helping with that staff retention and reducing that turnover as well. So to apply for either our Mana and Mahi or Flexi-Wage, you do need to talk to your local work broker to assess their eligibility. Okay, so our next investment support is Apprenticeship Boost. So the Apprenticeship Boost is only available to employers with apprentices in their first 2 years of study, as generally they need more support while they're training and developing their skills. An apprentice needs to be studying towards a TEC approved New Zealand apprenticeship or a managed apprenticeship. So the Apprenticeship Boost initiative is available only until December 2023, and employers can apply at any time as long as their apprentice is within their 24 months of that training program. This is for a maximum of 2 years, and the funding for that is $575 per month GST inclusive for that apprenticeship. You can apply online directly on our Work and Income website for that as well. So the other thing that we also offer, part of our labour market team and work brokers, is our Skills for Industry. So our Skills for Industry is an opportunity that's been identified that provides short-term job-focused training, preparing clients who require upskilling for specific industry requirements that's been identified by either our labour market team, a work broker, employer, or industry. So the Skills for Industry programs need to be short to medium term and tailored to job specific requirements for particular vacancies. So for example, retail skills, hospitality skills, and the expected outcome is that the client successfully completes the program and there is an employment outcome at the end. So what we've got, the picture that you're looking at now is one that we ran in collaboration with Consult QSR and Z Energy. So this was ran back in July 2022. This was a 2-week course that we had, and all of the participants, they were upskilled with first aid, health and safety, customer service, barista skills, giving the job seekers work experience before being offered employment at Z service stations across our Northland region. So this initiative was really, really successful, and we are now sort of capitalising on that, working again with Consult QSR and our Countdown supermarkets at the moment. So that's at, I think we've now got the participants who are doing work experience at our Countdown supermarkets here in Whangarei, with expected job outcomes for those. I think we've got about 20 candidates participating in that at the moment. So yeah, so that pretty much concludes my presentation. I'd love to hand you over now to our lovely Tracy Wildhaber, who is our Flexi-Wage self-employment specialist for Northland. So Tracy, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Ange. Kia ora koutou katoa, ko Tracy Wildhaber tōku ingoa. I have the privilege and the pleasure of being MSD Northland's Flexi-Wage self-employment grants coordinator. I help those on a benefit start their own business. It's made up of 2 parts, up to $10,000 in capitalisation costs, and if approved, 28 weeks of $600 a week whilst they get their business started. Applicants are required to do quite a lot of work, and it's a very comprehensive, very robust system. To be eligible, you must be a client, obviously, be disadvantaged in the local labour market and or at risk of being long-term unemployed. We do have some professional help available, and the lovely Tanae, who's been through our process, is now a provider in my space. Will be able to tell you a bit more about that. But whilst you can give me your business plan and I can go through it as often as you like, we will give you some outside professional help once we get to that it goes to an independent vetter. So MSD does not make the decision. It goes to outside forces. And generally, if you can get past me, you're usually pretty good. And I'm happy to say I have some beautiful friends who are now in business along the way. So on that note, I'd like to introduce the wonderful and lovely Tanae, and who is helping my clients with their marketing and branding. So Tanae, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tracy. Such a pleasure. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Tanae, the founder and director of Awaken Brand, where I help forward-thinking businesses go from confused to a clear and consistent brand message to attract your ideal client. However, I am extremely honoured to be speaking on behalf of the Flexi-Wage program for MSD. As Tracy mentioned, you have to be a client. So I went from client to provider within 12 months. And however, my journey didn't start here in New Zealand. It actually started back in 2020, along with most other business owners trying to figure out how to make the most of a bad situation with COVID-19 lockdowns. As you can see, so previously I was living in Australia and found myself moving back home for good, New Zealand. And as the first quote mentions, every cloud has a silver lining. And I truly do believe that. So feeling lost at the time, I stumbled across the Flexi-Wage program and my name landed on Tracy's desk. From there, Tracy supported me along the way to then become a long-term and ultimate cheerleader while building my own business plan. But of course, I had to become comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that there brings me to the second point here. Get uncomfortable with the uncomfortable in the process. Even though it was hard, I was able to strengthen my own skill set in producing a business plan right through the details of running a business, prompting by the business plan, gaining confidence from other coaches through the program, and having the confidence as well to successfully run my own business. And of course, having an awesome relationship with Tracy, who again, here in Whangarei and Northland, I believe it's who you know, not also what you know. I'm now 1 year plus into successfully running my business and become a provider for the Flexi-Wage to help other clients develop a bulletproof business plan to successfully build and scale their business long term. I believe that I've been able to become a sustainable business because of the Flexi-Wage program and the support. As Tracy said, a very robust system. I would highly recommend the program for those interested in starting a business to turn their idea into a reality by getting that extra support with the program so you can become a profitable business owner long term. Personally, my vision is to help as many forward-thinking business owners to awaken their potential to create a meaningful brand, connecting people to people. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Tanae. As I'm sitting here, I'm getting text messages from Consult QSR going, I'm trying to log in and register for this event. Sorry, Tim, you've missed out. I'll have to send him the link. So he was one of the providers for that Skills for Industry that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, we just open up to any questions and answers now, I guess. I hand you back to Rich and Angela.
Kia ora, thank you guys. That was a pretty awesome presentation there from all three of you. So thank you for that, and just covered off some really good content around the different types of supports that the MSD is offering to our wider community as well. So one of the questions that we have had come through that you might be able to shed some light on what being disadvantaged in the current labour market actually means. Can you give us some examples of that?
So being disadvantaged in the labour market, it could be someone that was, affected by COVID. So someone that lost their job due to the mandates. It could be a youth. So we're really focusing on our 18 to 24-year-olds getting into employment. So having barriers, disadvantages could be a variety of reasons. It could be a sole parent that's been out of the workforce, for the last 5 years, raising her family. Could be just difficulty trying to, find a job. Could be just having lost a job due to redundancy. So yeah, those conversations I think are really important to have with that work broker if you're unsure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Great.
hope that I answered that question. Thanks,
Yep.
Rich.
Thank you. And if somebody was to hire an employee that did have investment attached to their employment, and the employee up and left without any warning,
Yeah.
would that business or employer need to repay that money?
Yes, no, they don't. No. So, so no, the intention behind any of our investment support products is that, you know, the idea about it is that the client is going into sustainable long-term employment, but we all know that life happens, circumstances come up, so there is never any obligation that the employer is having to repay any of that investment support back. Yeah.
Right. And with regards to the self-employment side of things, is there support to sort of get some help with writing a business plan?
Yes, there is, but there is an expectation that you got to get past me first, and I will help you and help you and help you until I can't help you anymore. And once I can't help you anymore, I will forward you on to the professionals. And the reason we do that is, one, we want you to show that you're actually motivated, that you're going to learn the skills, and you're not going to waste the professionals, such as the lovely Tanae. You would waste her time and waste your payment that we have, your entitlement that we pay from you on your behalf to our lovely professionals such as Tanae, because there's no point turning up if you don't know what you're doing and you have no idea. You know, they are professionals, and it is their business, it's their livelihood.
Okay, thank you for that. And with regards to the types of work-ready clients that the MSD actually has available, what type of people do you have?
Gosh, we've got a mixture. We've got entry level, we've got clients that are actually skilled. That's the employer that we had earlier on in the presentation, Teresa from Monster Graphics, that was a sales marketing role, an account management role. So we have got clients across different industries, so it's always worth trying us as a recruitment place to just see what we've got on our books and start that recruitment process.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And I guess this sort of leads into my next question as well, then, around how much talent, how much employee talent is out there in the job market currently. You know, with everything being so scarce and the labour market being so short, is there actually some talent out there that just hasn't been tapped into?
I think at the moment we've still got a lot of clients that are looking for work at the moment. So I, as much as it is hard trying to support some industries because it is, with that labour shortage, we can only do our best. I always say to my employers, look, we can just give it a shot. You never know what we've got on our books at the moment. Yeah. So
great. Excellent. And I think final question here is, how many people establish a business with MSD support in a year in Northland?
In the last year for me, I've had 6, bearing in mind that it can take anywhere from 3 months to 2 years for some of my clients, because they can have their own health and disability barriers that they've got to work through, etc. But of those 6, they've gone on to expand very quickly, particularly through COVID, and taken on more staff from us. And the next question I can see from Pat, yes, I do track those businesses. They become personal friends, thankfully. I keep in touch with them all. They come back to me if they need support, or they need something, or they need staff. And yeah, we do have processes in place after they have got their business. If they need a bit more support, then we can put that in place for them. And I'm very connected, so I manage to, even the ones that don't get through, I network them to others, and that's how they get established. So if you get declined within the process, that's not the end of it. We'll try and support you to keep you going.
Great. Thank you, Tracy. I think that's all our time out now. So awesome, mahi there. Thank you so much. And I'll hand back over to Tracy, Angela.
Thanks, Rich. If I can just add my thanks to Rich's as well. So thank you to Tracy and Angela from the Ministry for joining us and talking about your products and services that are out there. I think, probably a lot of people out there don't realise that arm of the ministry is out there. You know, it's synonymous with sort of benefits and getting financial support for the individual, but there's a lot of support there for Northland business as well. And just want to say congratulations to Tanae on your journey. It's wonderful to hear the success stories. So thank you for joining us and sharing your journey as well.
Thanks, Angela.
No worries. I just want to acknowledge we've got a person who's just popped in the chat there. Thanks as well. Lots of valuable information being shared. So great job. Can I just encourage anybody who is not ready to take any steps yet to note down Rich's details from Connected. Rich will be the person who can help put you in touch with the team at the ministry if you need additional support or need somebody to be that conduit of connection for you. Rich's details are on the screen there. If you are starting your own business or already in business, we will here at Boost help you on your digital transformation journey. We'll make sure that your website is up and running. We've got Checkable, our free diagnostic tool that will provide a digital assessment of how your business is performing, and then also give you some next steps and some tips to enhance your presence online as well. Let's bring our session to a close. So thank you again for the MSD for joining us this afternoon. We have got Inland Revenue going to be joining us at 2:30 to talk to you about the tools and support with your business requirements there. And then our final session of the conference will be with myself this afternoon at 3:15. So if you want to hear a bit more of an in-depth look at the Digital Boost platform, please join me then. Other than that, I do hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks again.
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.